Hello, and welcome back to Leaf's Odyssey. And has it really been like a month since the previous episode? Sometimes I feel like I should just pre-record the whole thing, and that way not have these gaps. But on the other hand, I like being able to respond to feedback in case anybody comments on anything. But anyway, we are finally in the Tower of Destiny, and it is time to ascend. We have our 2 star keys from the basement. So, question. Probably a final-ish level, but will we get anything new from this? Like a new element? I was not expecting the new elements in the basement. Also, we hit the second part of the BGM track, apparently. Whoops. Apparently you can hit that button too fast. Above it all. Okay, so we are just climbing at this point, and this looks like, if I had to guess, an exam gauntlet. Ah, our friend the Cloud is back. I was wondering, in the very first screen of the game, we saw clouds, and I was like, is that going to be an element once we get climbing the tower? And it was just like, providing it as an example. But, or like a preview, kind of like shallow water and gun throw, but well, we'll see. Probably not. Anyway, I have to kill everything in order to climb to the next level. There's no other way to go, so yeah, I think I'm just on a linear gauntlet up at the moment. So above it all, that's going to be a clue as for how this is going to work. We have a switch. Is that what it's called? It is. Okay, toggle switch on top of a pillar. Okay, various mechanisms here. We are almost certainly building something here. Stacking blocks. We can get up. Yep. So the only action I can take at the moment is to build something. So immediately I want to test what happens if we I-beam a block. Just blocks it. Okay, that's more or less what I figured. Would have been surprised if there was a different outcome, but I also wanted to check, just to make sure that wasn't going to kill the block. So that means we have to get this block to... I guess I could test what happens if you push something on the stairs. It just covers the stairs. Okay. So yeah, we have to get the monster block onto the hot coals. There is no other way to kill the monster block. Which means that these eyes, I don't think actually serve any purpose in this room. They are just targets to be killed and possibly complicating factors as we're stacking things and trying not to die. So above it all, well, this part is going to be tricky. I'm going to need... I have no idea how I'm going to get this block on the hot coals. Okay, another thought. Monster gates do kill what's on top of them. So we could push the monster block onto the monster gate, maybe? That would be terrible, actually, because then I would have 2 blocks here. Even if it worked, I would be stuck. Well, No, I could walk over top of the monster block, I guess, to get to this ladder. Right, so I just don't know how I'm going to get the distance here. Oh, I hit the switch. Okay. I don't have to push a block over top of the wall. I just hit the switch and it was okay. That took me way longer to figure out than it should have. You have to hit the switch, which happens for free basically once I hit this. So if you have the high ground, you can attack down. So do that. That gets me 1. Is there a reason this is set up the way that it is? Because this isn't going to work. Yeah, not nearly enough. So I think the reason that's set up the way that it is so I can do that. And that way So that way I get a block here. I can't use this as something to step on, but I can use it as a barrier to protect myself. So I'm thinking if this block was actually here, or here, I could step here and then step north or south in order to bait out the attack, step here safely, step here, it triggers, but then I hit it. So I think that actually means this is the first target, because this is protecting this. However, this is on the wall, which means I'm sacrificing a block if I go for it. Also, that's awkward. That's the only way I can get up here. So if I do it this way, I'm not getting anywhere. Okay. The other thing I could maybe try is stacking. So if I did something like this, that gets me a stack here. So how would that help? Like, this is too far away. I think my attention is split between two different things here, and I should just focus on one. So since I've identified this as getting in the way of this part, whereas this does nothing to affect this, 5 blocks away, so there's no way I'm building anything from here to get down to here. So I just need to be able to figure out how to solve this. Because the problem here is that, well, there's a couple of problems. One, it's on the wall, so I can't actually get a block off of it. Two, because this is only a single and it's reversed from this, this isn't affected by... It is affected by something else. Okay. So I think this mechanism is protecting this, so actually I have to work around this eye in order to get here. Well, one thing I can do is make a shield. And if that's what I'm doing, I might as well use the monster block for this. Hold on. I'll put the monster block on top because then I can push it off easier. So here, what if I was standing here? If I was standing here and pushed onto this, is that a thing I can do? Huh. There's nothing else I can do here. At this point, I don't really have a plan. I'm just trying things. So I have I do have multiple blocks here. What happens if I do this? I get higher. That's not enough time as before. But if I was here... If I was here... and there was another block here... So it was like monster block. Okay, if I reverse these... Hold on. If I reverse these... Okay, let's just get that out of the way for now. I want there to be... Okay, I need... What I actually need is a tower 3 high. So if I have pink, purple, pink on this, I push... And then the 4th one here, that would do it. Okay. So I need to break this up. And then somehow I need to get 3 of these together. Which I guess just means... means starting over. To do this in the reverse order. There we go. Okay, this should do what I want here. So do that. There we go. I managed to hit the switch without losing any resource permanently, because I can still recover all of these blocks. Alright, so now this one. Okay, well this is theoretically just done. I just wanted to confirm that you could roast the monster block with something on top of it. I don't know why I needed to test that, because I knew it was going to work. Here, step up. Okay, I think... So we looked at this earlier. I think... Hold on. Okay, there we go. Well, that was pretty tricky. There weren't that many things you could work with, but you did have to find an orientation to make it work. Still going up. And hey, going up again. So, we're gonna have to find a new spot for the next stairs. Okay, we start with poison. No slug, but there is poison. And we have Pacific floor and a sacrifice altar. So immediately this is, to me, looking like the actual puzzle here. Something needs to die. That's, yeah, the only way we're getting the statue out. Something needs to die on this altar. But all of this Pacific floor means that nothing is killing anything on this altar. Also, this is, well... Okay, if I'm up here, I can just attack down. Okay, we've got a block. Monster block never gets released until this triggers. So that's 2 things. So, and then we've got a monster gate here that we have to get behind. So these don't do anything. So The good news is I can actually ignore most of this room. What I have access to right now is a block, a statue, and then whatever this mechanism does. So let's look at this. Okay, this one affects the left. This affects both left and down. Okay, I can... okay. I did want to see if you can walk on statue rubble. That answers that question. I think that was a question I had a while ago. Easy opportunity to test it. I don't remember if I had previously. So we have a block. Okay, so I think what's going on here is actually pretty straightforward. And taxi is in fact the name of the game. Okay, so I needed to be a little bit faster than that. Well. There we go. I am no longer on Pacific floor because the block protects me, kills the statue. I am almost confident that that was the only way that was ever going to happen. Okay, so now I have access to a monster block, I have access to another statue. This statue is going to have to do the same thing, I think. I'm going to need to be pushed along here. The only way that the monster block is going to die is to go on the poison. But the Pacific floor, that is interesting. So let's actually use that. I was just assuming that I was going to need to use this block, but being reminded by this really nice graphic of the eyes closing, I really like the way... just in general, I like the way that the enemies in this game, you can see like which direction the eye is facing when it's about to fire. And same with this, with the eyes. And also like the eyes change direction, the way they're facing if this block is sliding on ice. It's just in general, the sprite work is really good here as far as readability. Which is important in a game like this. You need to know what the things are doing, because it can get complicated. Anyway, tangent aside, I have a block here that I can use to be pushed. I am safe, which gives a purpose to this specific floor, which almost certainly means that's what I want to do. Which is, you know, kind of unnecessary, I guess, for the rest of the puzzle, but it's neat, so we'll allow it. So now, the only way I'm getting up here... The only way I'm getting up here... Well, there's two ways, I guess. I'm standing here, and either the statue steps here, which on its own, that would be sufficient. I would then be safe, I could step here, step here, step here, statue would push me, I kill the statue, I kill the eyes, and I'm out. The trick, of course, is getting the statue into that position in the first place. The other way I could do this is I could have this block here, but the only way I'm getting the block on here is if the statue pushes it. So I think there's an extra... I'm gonna say an extra set of complexity, but maybe this isn't too bad? Oh, these both trigger this. Okay, never mind. I forgot that this pressure plate affects this, so actually I can get up here pretty easily. Is that sufficient? It is. I'm good. Okay. Interesting. Well, that was unexpected, but I guess that makes sense. Okay. Kind of got a little bit lucky there, but I solved things. Okay, I did want to check the clouds are in fact in different positions. Ah, over here. Now this is in the center. Does that mean that this is the end? Not necessarily. But we are performing a ritual, and this ritual looks complicated, but I suppose it wouldn't be a ritual if it wasn't. We have a switch which does something. Ah. Okay. I could have right-clicked, I guess, but that answered the question nicely. So these eyes are on Pacific floor, but we can deactivate the Pacific floor, which means that we can prime the eye. We can prime the eye, and then it doesn't actually fire until then. So I think what the ritual probably is get a bomb bug on each of these with an eye looking at each of them. And then I hit this and all four blow up simultaneously. So what's these mechanisms? These do in fact do the same thing, and yeah. Pretty much as expected. So if I do this in a different order, one of them goes, and we're done. Yeah. So this whole thing is an enforcement mechanism to make sure everything has to happen at the same time. Now, the bugs will not actually kill me on the Pacific floor, so that's good. Oh, there's also these blocks, which are probably important. In fact, okay, I think the first thing I want to do is avoid having both eyes stare at this. So I'm going to grab, because if I do that, they both look at me. Okay, that's not it. I don't have a lot of options at the start here. So this option with you looking left, that means I have to push this down at least this far in order to make any movement in this direction. And I cannot step this far. I suppose the other option is that I just get the bomb bugs out of the way, and then I release the eyes once I have access to both blocks, and then I prime them up a second time. So as long as I hit this the first time and none of the bomb bugs die, I think I'm fine. That might actually be the trick here, because getting past, I'm seeing kind of an impossibility where I can't get past this horizontal or this vertical without screwing up the final solution that I want. So I do think... Yeah, let's just get you guys safe. Okay. So, mostly as expected. The extra complicating factor here is that I cannot have any of the eyes die. So from here, I can protect you. So now I need to figure out the order I want the eyes in. Well, you're blocking this now, so I can actually cross this way just fine. So now I think what I do... Probably... just do that. Oh, okay. Okay, let's not do that. Can I get you... Can't get you facing south here. Okay. I think I have the right idea. I just need to figure out what I'm doing with the blocks. The bomb bugs are surprisingly a non-issue here. So maybe it'll be easier if I just have them all facing this way. And then if I put the two blocks... Okay, I need to put a block in the middle. And then one here. I think that's it. Because then you shoot this way. I can cross both. Yeah, okay, that's the key. Block in the middle to block these two, and then I walk around and I get everything set up the way I want. Alright, so now I'm just, it's just a matter of getting the bomb bugs out of the way. Which, is fairly easy to do. They're not that much of an issue. There we go. You're already in a pretty good spot. Just put you like that. That should be fine. And now I just need to rescue the bugs. I think we're good. Okay, eyes are all primed. Those two are in position. I don't need to keep that block where it is anymore. So we'll just do that in order to keep the eyes, or to keep the bugs in position. Good. I do need to actually deal with these eyes. Which isn't too bad, okay. Just have them shoot each other. Alright, that was a pretty neat room. Definitely the most over-engineered mechanism, I think, in the game so far. But it did what it needed to do. Final battle, huh? But is it actually the last room? Well, we have space. We also... Oh, I was going to say there's no stairs, but there is in fact another set of stairs. Okay, anti-block barrier. Well, block barrier. A barrier that is anti-block, not an anti-block, anti-block barrier, I don't know. Okay, what's going on here? Hot coals? 1, 2, 3. I don't think there's anything else. These could potentially scare a bomb bug. But other than that, they don't really serve any function. Okay, the good old flying snake. It would be really nice if I could kill some of these so that I could step on them. Okay, so we have... Well, I guess you two are going here and here. At some point. Probably at the end of the room, because then I can... Yeah, I can deal with you fairly easily, and that... Well, yeah, that's the only way I'm getting to this, but yeah, so this one's easy. When I'm done whatever else I'm doing, as long as I have 1 or 2 monster blocks left, I just push them on here, and I am going to need them both available because that's where they end up. There's a statue in here. Does this room have every single element in it? Every single major element. There's no, like, every enemy. There's no ice, there's probably some other things missing. But we do have a slug, which is a little bit worrisome. A whole bunch of eyes. So there are a few things here. We could... Like, an easy way to deal with this would be just to kill the statue on it. This might be for the statue, because I just need something to step on this. So getting a statue to step on this isn't hard. Getting either the slug or the bomb bug, or even a flying snake for that matter, on top of this, also not hard. I have tested this, right? Flying snakes... Yeah, even though they fly, they are... Yeah, they can be killed and still trigger a sacrifice altar. And I'm pretty sure I did do that in the basement. Okay, so this one is kind of trivial. This one's kind of trivial. So all the complicated stuff is going to be getting a statue to step on this for me. Because if I get that, like if I can get a statue to step here, which, how much of a run do I need? So here, if I had... Okay, well the statue can't actually hurt me if it's on this, so that's something to consider. But if I had here, because like I move north, it moves north. If that was blocked, like let's say I had a block here, it would not be able to push it, so it would instead push this way. If I timed this so that the slug... No, because then I'm... Well, okay, because I could do that. So if I had 2 blocks here... I don't have the slug here, though. To follow me. And if I do that, it's going to prefer pushing this way. So I would need both of these to be blocked. Oh, I guess a winged a winged snake is probably the easiest option here, just to have it chasing me. So if I did that, I had a winged snake right here. Block, block, winged snake. Then this statue, from this position, would slide here. Right, I can't fight it. Then if I step north, winged snake moves north. This is assuming that the snakes move before the statue, which they don't. Okay, so this doesn't actually work then. Now, neither does the slug, neither does the bomb bug. Okay, what does move before it? Is it just these monster blocks? Alright, well, if the snake moved faster than the statue, I'm pretty sure it would just be a matter of putting these two blocks on these two spots, and then I just time it so that I step here with the snake following me. You would be forced to go here, you'd be blocked out again, you'd move here. From here I kill the snake. I'm gonna step here, step here, step here. You're here. Step down, you move, and then I kill you. Yeah, so that would have worked. And then lots of resources for everything else. But alas. So probably we have to actually use the slug. Is this an issue? Okay, well that's an issue. I don't know how I actually break into this. I guess the bomb bug is to blow up an eye so that I can extract the slug. That seems plausible. So bomb bug blows up an eye, extracts the slug. The other thing the bomb bug can do is explosion going diagonally, but I don't think, because of the anti-block barriers, I don't think that's an option here. So I don't think I need to think about diagonals at all. Well, I do for the statue, but not for the bomb bug. So I need to use this. Other question. Assuming that I had a slug, what would I do with it? Because I don't need it for either of these, so I'm guessing the slug helps me get the statue into position. So if these are all dead, if these are all dead, I could easily get around the statue, get it here. I still don't see... Still don't see how I do anything with that. Because, yeah, if I get the statue here, then I need to go all the way into here to get it up, which seems counterproductive. I think I'm much better off getting the statue coming in this way. The flying snakes can be used to help out with slug manipulation. The other thing is, if the statue ever hits poison, then it just dies. There's no way for me to gain elevation, so I'm not pushing anything onto this. Yeah, the only thing that moves diagonally is the statue. It has to be the statue on this. So Bomb Bug blows up Eye to release Slug. How does a slug help me get a statue here? Can I get a lead on this thing? Okay. That's important information. So now if I do this, I have all the time I need to get up here. Okay, so let's test one more thing here. What happens in this situation? You prefer that move. Okay. Is it... Hold on. Is this room actually just really easy? Well, easy is always relative, I guess. Okay. I need to put you in the right spot. Do that to get myself some space. I mean, this should work, right? I feel... Ah. Block barrier. Okay. I was gonna feel kind of disappointed if this was actually what the solution of this room was. We've got block barriers. Okay. So we need to clean up the slime. To clean up the poison here. I think then I do need to rescue the slug. I need the slug to go across and up. And I just kill it in that position. Right, you're gonna wake up if I do that. I can't deal with you first, because you're in the way. I can deal with you easily enough. But then... Okay, well, I'm going to need... Okay. I can get past without waking you up. You will come towards me. But okay, well that's just gonna kill you. Okay, this is a little bit awkward. No, you only come towards me if I'm in between you and the block. Because then you see me instead of the monster block. Okay. So actually, the hard part of this puzzle now is to get the bomb bug over here. Because if I can get the bomb bug... past... Is line of sight broken by monsters? I guess I can check that. Not by these. Okay, so these pillars are probably so that I can just trap the statue until I need it for later. But then I'm on a timer with the slug. I don't like being on a slug timer. I'm trying to deal with this and then get back here before the slug gets off this tile. I guess that's the other question. Is it the bomb bug? Ideally, we would be blowing up this eye, but I don't think that's possible because that will just kill the slug. So we're actually blowing up this eye, and then we're using the winged snakes to get the slug into position. Oh, and the blocks. Which, I mean, okay, as long as we just have a block here, that'll work. Because then it'll hit the block and then it'll go across. And as long as we have another block here so that the statue doesn't wake up, then I can kill it and not touch this. That'll be fine. Okay, so it's really just about getting... Okay, it's just about getting you. Well, if I do that, that is recoverable. And it's even recoverable, I think. Yes, I have time to get here, to get you stuck here. Okay. So that's fine then. If the eyes are all dead, I can do that. And this way, the bomb bug doesn't see the scary block. I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that block isn't scary if it's asleep. I don't think I've seen that interaction. But we can... Yeah, we can do that. Block is not scary if it's asleep. Unfortunately... I really don't want to deal with this first. But I need to get you across. Maybe I don't have to blow you up right away, but no, I do, because I'm not getting... Yeah. There's no way to prevent that. I need to get the block out of this column if I want to get the bomb bug past it. If not for that, I could probably dance back and forth until I get a bomb bug here, and then resolve this. Yeah, because the problem is I can hit this one, but there's the other one behind it. Okay, so that's interesting. That's good. You will still blow up. And like I'm 90% sure this doesn't work, but I'm gonna try it. Yeah, you moved first, but you didn't turn. Yeah, you can still see. Well, you can still see here, though. So that wasn't a conclusive test. Alright, I guess we'll do the thing that I'm trying to avoid doing. Which is that. You know what, let's scare you a little bit more. Okay, well I do actually get this block into position. Kind of, but not really. Like, this isn't easy. Nothing about this is easy. I was also going to push the block. Good to have that reminder. Well, the block doesn't need to be there right away. So maybe if I put it down here... No, because the problem with this now, I can't get here. Because if I want you in this position, which I think is the only spot I can put you that makes any sense here. Because I can't get you here, can I? Problem with that is that gets you up. I can't deal with you. I can't deal with you first, can I? Because I had you coming up this way. And I needed both of these blocked. Which meant I needed to run up in this column. Okay, I can get you stuck in here. No, because I still can't. Unless I had you here. And even then, why am I doing any of this? Because all I'm going to do is I'm going to put you here, and then you're going to blow up the slug. No, 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 no. Can't go that far. Which means I can't get you into this column. This column. Can't extract that at this point. So is this really the only spot the bomb bug could ever possibly go? Because it needs to be... It can't be on the Pacific floor. Okay, I am overlooking a mechanic that would make this a whole lot easier. probably fine. Okay. I think I've done it. I can chase the bug. That gives me maximum time here. I'm not entirely sure how to deal with the statue. The poison trail doesn't matter because I have blocks, so I can clean that up as I need to. So now I have enough time. Well, I don't... I think it's fine because I still have the blocks. Also, the slug can hold this. I don't have to do it. So, okay. So in that case... I wanted you... push that. Yeah, I'm not quite in position. I could use one of you. Potentially. Right, so... if I had... Could I have this up more? All that would do here. How does the snake actually make a difference here? What am I trying to do? Well, the other thing I could do to get myself a few extra turns is I could just use the slug again. So the setup that I want that gets me an extra turn. There we go. That's fine. That's also fine. Okay, we got it. Is that, in fact, the final puzzle, though? It would seem so. The Tower of Destiny has brought us to Destiny. New bomb bug interaction. Does not flee from pacified monster blocks. That is, in fact, true. Look at all these interactions. Wow. Bomb bug, I think, is still my favorite element. It's just surprisingly versatile. There's so much you can do with it. Alright, Tower of Destiny complete. Clear time. All rooms explored, all rooms cleared. Shooting range. Yeah, that one was hard. Rooms by clear order. Interesting. This wasn't what I was expecting, but I guess this is useful from a testing perspective. You can see, like, oh, this room was hard. What was this room? Ah. And so then this would be... Come on, mouse control. Oh my god, what is going on? My mouse is trolling me right now. The shooting range was, of course, this room. Yeah, this one was hard. Final battle was the second hardest room, though, based on clear time. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Room by... Oh, I can do this. Rooms by time spent. A bunch of different options for nerds, I guess. Say that like I don't play puzzle games. I'm a nerd. Room by visit order. Clear order, time spent. Interesting. But I mean, I guess from a testing perspective, that could be useful information to have. Can I? Oh no. Okay, if I click on this. No, so left and right is toggling this, but what if I wanted to... There we go. Okay, that's a lot better. Yeah, surprisingly interesting, this graph. And really, I guess it was 2 rooms that I got stuck on. There were a few others that took a bit of time, but there was definitely the 2 hardest ones. Anyway, it's kind of a shame it took me a month to get to this final episode, but that is Leaf's Odyssey. Does anything else happen if I hit either of these? Continue playing. Okay. Then I can come back here, or exit to menu. There is a level editor, which I guess I can look in now and not worry about being spoiled, unless, of course, there are elements that weren't used in that main puzzle set, which is possible. I do know that there are custom level sets, because I see Alex doing Let's Plays of a bunch of other level sets for this series, which I'm assuming are level sets that other people made, but I don't know that. I've avoided looking at them because, well, I hadn't played the original and I didn't want any spoilers either way. But I could see myself doing custom levels on this at some point. Playing custom levels. I don't know about making them. Maybe. I mean, I'm really, really bad about making levels for Drawd. Anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. This was Leaf's Odyssey. I will see you next time for another project.